Do you have hidden AI talent in your teams? I had two very interesting conversations this week. I was speaking with two leadership teams, senior leadership teams of two organizations, two very different organizations in very different sectors. And I won't say who they are for privacy reasons. I won't even tell you what industries or sectors they were in, but they were very, very different. And the thing they had in common was they were both thinking about and talking about how to adopt and integrate AI into their organizations. And it's interesting because although the teams are very, very different, working in very different areas, I had two almost identical conversations with both of those teams. So we were talking about how they could integrate and adopt AI throughout the organization. And at one point, in both of these conversations, in both of these teams, at one point, somebody spoke up. And she wasn't the chief technology officer, she wasn't the chief information officer, she wasn't the head of IT, she didn't have a technical role, but let's call her Michaela. So Michaela spoke up and said, look, I've been using AI and I've been using it in my day-to-day work in what I do. So I've been playing around with ChatGPT to analyze spreadsheets, to do competitor analysis, to look at how our employees could use this in their everyday roles. I've dug deep into some of the features. I've paid for a subscription myself so I can get access to some of the more advanced features. And this is what I've been doing with AI. And she shared this with everybody else around the table. And in the other organization, we had another person who had almost exactly that same conversation. Again, somebody who wasn't in IT, who wasn't directly responsible for AI, but was using AI themselves. So when it came to them asking me what they should do and how I can guide them in using AI, I said, look, the best way to do this is to have AI champions throughout the organization. You've got a team here, you've got other teams throughout the organization, and what you want is AI champions in each of those teams. And by the way, in your team, this executive leadership team right here, Michaela is your AI champion. Do you get that? She's not responsible for AI. She's not responsible for IT, but she's using AI. She's keen. She's enthusiastic about it. She's paid for her own subscription to these AI platforms so that she can start using it and see what value it gives. So she is your AI champion for your senior leadership team here. And your job as a senior leadership team is not to tell people from the top down, here's how you should use AI and here's how you shouldn't use AI. Your job is to enable, support, and facilitate other AI champions throughout the organization. So help your other leaders and managers in the organization identify, support, and facilitate AI champions within their team. And it was really interesting because both of those senior leadership teams got it straight away because they could see there was an AI champion in their midst. And it was a living, breathing example of exactly what I was talking about throughout the organization. Now, that was a very recent conversation. So I don't know, how these clients of mine, how they're going to take that advice and that suggestion and put it into practice, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's much easier as a senior leadership team to say we're responsible for everything that happens within the organization, so we're going to spend weeks and months creating an AI policy, looking at governance, making sure our IT team are involved in creating the right infrastructure, and only then will we let our people loose on AI. And I think that's a mistake. You can do it that way, but it takes a long time. And if you're going to do that properly, it takes a huge investment to make it happen quickly. It's much better to change the culture, because using AI is not about technology, it's about culture. It's about people and technology working together, and you want to bring your people on the AI journey with you. So if you're trying to do it top down, you'll be facing an uphill battle. The better thing to do is to build this culture where people are happy with, comfortable with, and they feel safe using AI, and they see the value that it can generate. And the best way you can do that is to find AI champions through your organization. And if you're a senior leader, it's not your job to find them. Your job is to spread that message and then enable, facilitate, and support other leaders and managers in the organization to, in turn, enable, support, and facilitate AI champions in their team. If you'd like to know more about this, I'm running an online presentation very soon about people-powered AI, and we'll look at the balance and the tension between the people side of AI and the technology side of AI. It's free, it's public, it's open to everybody. You'll find the link to register, so please come along. And because it is open to everybody, feel free to invite others in your team and your network as well. I'll see you in the future.